Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to Exploring Elite Dangerous episode 29. Once again, the vista of space has dramatically changed as I move my way ever closer to the core of the galaxy. I've seen a number of gorgeous sights on my way to, as usual, found some very interesting worlds. In particular, I found quite a few ammonia worlds. Now, my location on the galaxy is still around about 7,500 light years to go to the centre of the galaxy and Sagittarius A. I'll just zoom out a little bit here and you'll get a rough position on my location. As you could see, the number of stars has increased dramatically in my surrounding area. It's very densely packed, although nowhere near as densely packed as what it's going to be near Sagittarius A. But it does give a very nice look to the backdrop. Now, Sagittarius A is the large black hole at the centre of the galaxy, and it is surrounded by literally thousands upon thousands of stars. Now, they're not all drawn in here correctly on the galaxy map just yet. If I rotate around, you'll see that the galaxy map actually starts drawing in all the stars that are actually there. I'm not sure why the map works like that, but momentarily, yep, there it goes. That's how many stars there are when we get toward the centre. Now, the backdrop don't quite look like that at the moment, but even still you can see we get into an area of space that is quite different. Look at the background there. Now, for me, this represents quite a large payoff for all the time spent travelling. As you move across the galaxy, things do start to look different, and that for me makes it a very worthwhile endeavour. Now, I did find something rather nice here. I found a ringed water world. Not quite as fortunate as my buddy Commander Chaos Wolf, who recently found a ringed Earth-like that he named. Well, I won't tell you the name, you can watch his video, and I'll link his video in my video description below. Be sure to check it out, it's very good. But here is a ringed water world. I did fly in and have a nice close look at it. Water worlds themselves hold quite a value, and the fact that it's surrounded by metal resources like this one is will make it an even higher value than it would otherwise be. I've spent a long time looking for this type of world, so it was nice to finally come across one. Like I say, I'm still looking for the elusive ringed Earth-like. Now, as I'm getting closer to the galactic core, I am finding a lot more water worlds and a lot more Earth-likes. In fact, they're becoming such a common occurrence that they don't seem like the rare worlds that they once were when I was further out. Of course, I'm not saying that Earth-likes are found absolutely everywhere, but generally I don't have to go more than 10 or 20 jumps before I'll find an Earth-like, which is a lot different to elsewhere. Travelling across the void out here has felt totally different, and even more so when using the Oculus Rift. So this is probably the most interesting system I actually come across out here. There's 2 water worlds and an Earth-like, as well as a whole bunch of high metal content planets, some of them with atmospheres which looks like they may well be terraformable. In fact, this was one of the most interesting systems I found on this particular leg of the journey, especially in terms of value for the amount of discovery credits it's going to be worth when I finally get back and sell the exploration data here. Hopefully I will get my name tagged as a discoverer on most of these. Certainly at the moment no one has discovered them yet. So first things first, I decided to go and have a look at this Earth-like here. You can always tell Earth-likes because they are very vividly blue. A lovely planet here. It's hard as a sci-fi fan not to see these planets and wonder what a culture or a people's living down here would actually think and feel and see when they look up at the night sky. Of course, it would look a lot different to what we see from Earth. Just look at the sheer number of stars here to start with. Then, of course, remember the previous episode when I was way above the galactic core and there was no stars at all in the night sky, and all you could see was the Milky Way galaxy itself. Imagine looking up at the night sky and seeing that instead of stars. There's a whole story and history to write for such a planet, I'm pretty sure. Talking of planets, there is an announcement for Elite Dangerous coming up at Gamescom on the 5th of August. And it's looking like Frontier may well be announcing an expansion, and if so, it could possibly be planetary landing. Now, I might be wrong on that. In fact, I could well be wrong, but if I were to place a bet, that would indeed be my bet. Now, here is the moon that's orbiting that Earth-like planet. You can see the Earth-like planet still there in the background. Always nice to get out a little bit further and take a look at things from a slightly different vantage point. Talking of vantage points then, let's sit back for a moment and chill out to a little bit of music and some gorgeous scenery from around the galaxy. Only joking. Let's try this. Now what we have here is an ammonia world. These are one of the more valuable discoveries, and that is because, like Earth-like planets, these planets can naturally support life. Of course they can't support human life, and they can't support the type of life we might typically find on Earth, but they are very capable of supporting life without any planetary modifications such as terraforming of any type. Okay then, another new system here. And it looks like it's got a whole bunch of rich planets here. This may be an Earth-like. I'm not entirely convinced because it's more of a duller colour than what we would normally see. It could be a water world though. Let's position our ship and start travelling towards it. It's 2,000 light seconds away, so that's a fair while. And we can hop back to the galaxy map, or the system map should I say, and have another look at what we've got here. So we've got the main star. These are all rocky worlds by the looks of it, so I'm going to bypass them and keep travelling toward that blue planet there. Doesn't look like there's anything else on this particular section of the system, although the second one in there may be a high metal content planet, but I'll probably bypass that and travel over to this side of the system. Now again, they do look a little bit Earth-like, but I'm not entirely convinced they are. There's definitely quite a few high metal content planets over there, and a couple of them might be water worlds, so it's definitely worth investigating. Anyway, let's select this one and carry on. Every time I look at the backdrop here, I'm stunned by the amount of stars there. I know I've mentioned it a few times in this video already, but I just really can't get over it, and it's only going to get even more dense the closer I get to the core. This really does look gorgeous on the Oculus Rift. Right, let's jump to it. The scanner has now kicked in then, we're within scanning range. What's it gonna be? Ah, it's a high metal content planet. Well, not too bad a find, they're worth a little bit. Not as nice to see as a Earth-like or a water world, but nonetheless still interesting to see. So yeah, is it? No, it's not a candidate for terraforming either. Oh, it's got a 100% sulfur dioxide atmosphere, so it wouldn't be a very pleasant place to live on at any rate. Okay, so let's get over and have a look at those other bunch of planets in the next section of this particular system. We get back to my journey toward the other side of this star system in a moment. I just had to edit this little bit of footage in here. It's the high metal content planet I just discovered, along with the moon that is orbiting it. A little bit too nice to just have bypassed without showing you it. And if you may have seen my graphics mod video, I have increased the resolution of the textures on all of these planetary objects. They're now at 8K, and I think that really does stand out. The planets are much more higher quality than they would be by default. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that video yet, do have a look at it, and it doesn't seem to impact performance any, at least on my PC. And the other thing of note here is that the planet seems to have a particularly huge and vicious storm on it. Most of the planets you come across with clouds and atmosphere do tend to have the little swirly tropical storm type clouds, which seem perhaps a little bit too common, but this one is exceptional compared to what I've ever seen. Never seen anyone quite like this in the game. It's really very much the vortex sucking in all of the clouds around it. Looks particularly violent, doesn't it? A truly massive storm going on there, that's for sure. Right then, let's get back to my journey. Well, I wasn't sure whether this one was going to be a water world or not, but it turns out to be another high metal content planet. But this one is a candidate for terraforming at least, which makes things a little bit more interesting. And it's got a carbon dioxide rich atmosphere, which is pretty much ideal for converting to something that might be a little bit more usable for humans. Okay, let's go and have a look at this other one. Fairly close by, only 700 light seconds, so that shouldn't take us too long to get over there at all. And we are now within scanning range. Yep, another high metal content planet. This time I was actually expecting it to be that. It looked a little bit too similar to the other ones. Right, make sure I don't crash into the planet while I'm looking at the system map here. And let's have a look at what we got. Is it another candidate for terraforming? Yes, it is. It's got a nitrogen heavy atmosphere this time, and like I say, it's another candidate for terraforming. Excellent. So the other planets definitely look to be high metal content planets as well. I'll probably go out and have a look at that one. A rather nice system there then, all in all. Now, there was one other thing I did want to show you very quickly, so I'm going to get to that right now. This is the first lava world I took a look at since I modified the textures for the planets, and I must say they do look pretty nice indeed. I call it a lava world because that's actually descriptive, it tells you what it is, but the actual fact is it's another high metal content planet. So it's actually got a little bit of an atmosphere, as you can see there just at the edge. There's a little bit of atmospheric scattering going on there. Hopefully it won't be too long before we can get down there. If you've enjoyed this video, do please hit that like button. It really does help my channel grow. I've got a whole bunch more videos on the way. I'm still going to continue with this series. I'm on my way to the galactic core, and once I get there I'm probably going to head on out towards the outer rim of the galaxy, so there'll be plenty more to see. Now, I haven't forgot my Commander's Odyssey series of videos, the power play update throughout my plans a little bit for that particular series. But for those of you that don't know, it's a 3-part story that I've filmed within Elite. There's currently 2 parts available, and I'll link them in the video description so you can go take a look at them. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.